Hello everybody and welcome to Wosnice, Season 2, Episode 4. So today we have a few tasks on our hand. Fortunately, we're actually going to make quite a nice bit of money as the canola is ready to be sold since it's November. We're going to get about $3,700 per 1,000 liters and we have nearly 3,000 liters. So I'm expecting at least 10 grand from our canola. But before selling our canola, we have to sell our eggs because the price is already going down. And after that, in December, the price is going way down until next year. So now is the time to sell our many pallets of eggs. Also, we must absolutely get crops into the ground for our field 15, 28, and field 30. Our chickens are okay food-wise, so at least we don't have to take care of these today. Our silage bales are fully fermented, but it's not time to sell them yet. But I would still like to get this field cleared off, or at least make a nice pile up for the bales, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there if we have time today. If by some miracle we make enough money today, I would really like to purchase field 95 because not only is it ready to harvest, but it's got some sorghum in it, so that's a double win for us. So I think the first task we need to prioritize is definitely getting our eggs sold. So let's just move this to the side here, right in front of our house. It shouldn't be in the way if we put it there. It's gonna give me enough space to actually maneuver around with the wheel loader and the egg pallets. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I actually need to move the Lambo because it's not blocking anything. But let's just have a look to be sure. Yeah, no, the Lambo is fine as it is. Now, before I hop into the wheel loader, I just want to know where I'm actually going to go sell these eggs. So our best deal for eggs is currently purchased from local farmer 2. So we're going to go and sell these right away. So I'm very fortunate because the sell point purchased from local farmer 2 is actually right across the street. So I won't be driving very far to get this job done. And I will be raking in a lot of money. Not exactly sure how much yet, but I'm guessing it's gonna be a fairly decent amount. So anyway, I will get these sold. So these are our last two pallets. So far, I can't believe how much money we made off of these eggs. It's just incredible. I'm not even sure how much I actually made. I didn't keep track. So we'll have a look at that as soon as these two pallets are sold. And we're all the way up to $155,000. Wow. I honestly did not know if I'd ever see that kind of money on this map. Now let's just have a look and see how much we actually made from our eggs. So if you look under November at the complete right, we can see that we made $144,000 just from our eggs. These chickens are well worth the effort. So let's just go and bring the wheel loader right back to our farm, which is conveniently across the street. Gotta watch out for them cars because they come by really fast. And yes, I am driving in reverse. It's just much easier than turning around. So let's switch here. Vroom. And let's park this big bad boy right here. Yeah. Alright, let's put these forks to sleep. Turn the engine off. Now we're going to hop into our M7 tractor. And we are going to go sell our canola because we won't be needing it here. We're not feeding any of our animals using our canola, so we might as well get it sold. So currently the best price for canola is at Agropole. So let's go and sell our canola. So let's start off by hooking the small trailer here. Fortunately, we don't have too much canola to sell, so it should all fit in this trailer quite easily, honestly, because I think this trailer has a 10,000 liter capacity and we don't even have 3,000 liters of canola, so this will fit in nicely. Now let's just pull up here and we're gonna fill with canola. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, not even 3,000 liters. Alright, so I'm gonna drive down to Agropole, which is right past the dealership, and I will see you once we get there. So here we are at the Agropole. Now I just need to align the trailer here with the conveyor belt. Let's empty this out and see how much money we make. The moment of truth awaits. An extra almost 11 grand. I'm not gonna complain. That's a very nice amount of money for so little green. Alright, so now before we go on, we have to weigh our options on a few things here. So currently I have $166,000. Now earlier I mentioned that I wanted to buy a field, and 95 is within our objectives. And the field itself is $64,000. So that would leave us with about 100 grand, which I think is fairly reasonable. And our second option would be to focus on building our yard and getting animals. Now, I could probably do both these objectives with the amount of money that I have, but at the same time I don't want season 2 to end after episode 4. So I'm going to focus on one objective at a time here, but before doing any of those, we have to prioritize getting some crops into our current fields, and then we can think about expanding. So let's just bring this back home and we will start seeding our own fields. I will start by dropping off the trailer on the side here. Turn off this beacon light because I'm not on the road anymore. I don't really need it here. I'm all alone on my farm. I'm not gonna hit anybody. Alright, so let's just... there we go. That's good enough for me. Let's pop this off. We'll put the tractor off to the side just for a second because there's just a little something I want to check out. So let's turn off the engine. Now I want to focus on field 15 first, get this going since it's our biggest field that we own at the moment anyway. So first things first, we're going to have to cultivate this field. And for this job we're going to use none other than our trusty Lambo. So let's hook up the cultivator. So let's start by unfolding this machine. Once we're done with the cultivation, I will start seeding the field, but the seeding will be done by a worker because I will shift my attention to our other fields. Anywho, I'll see you once this job is done. Alright, so I just gotta get these two little patches here that I missed. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up the seeder, and we're gonna do the headlands first, of course, or else our friendly workers will get confused as usual. But no matter, it's a small price to pay. That way we can focus on other fields while this is getting seeded. Multitasking at its finest. Now let's drop this off here in our garage, which I'm kind of thinking is gonna go away really soon, because I would like to at least start working on the yard. I might not complete it because it's gonna be pretty expensive, but if I can at least get it started and slowly work my way towards a better layout, I will be pretty happy. So what I'll do for this field here, I will be planting soybeans because I don't think I need sorghum anytime soon for my chickens, especially not if I end up buying the field with sorghum in it already. I would have an insane amount. I could sell some, of course, yes, because that's a good way of making money, selling your grain. But I think soybean is just worth more in terms of like what you earn per liters. So anywho, I'll do the headlands here. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully 2 rows will be more than enough for my worker to be able to do this field without any issues. Fingers crossed. Now I will align him right here, and then I will shift my attention to our next field. A little side note, last time I left this job to a worker, he missed a huge chunk in the middle of the field. So I have to think about verifying and making sure that the job was done properly. So anywho, let's set it off on a worker. Alright, so now while he's driving away, let's have a look at our map. So as it stands, field 28 and field 30. They both need to be cultivated. Now the only issue here is that my M7 can't handle the cultivator. So let's just have a look, see if they require lime or anything like that. Okay, so field 30 does require lime. That's a good in a way, I guess. It's good in the sense that I have something to do with my M7. So let's get to it. We're gonna have to empty out the fertilizer from our spreader and switch to our lime at the store. So let's just pick up the spreader behind, yeah, it's right behind the weeder. And there we go. Now let's pop the fertilizer out of the spreader. Well, we'll do it right here. It was pretty convenient last time. It was easy to pick up afterwards. So let's unload 1, unload 2, and unload 3. Alrighty. So let's just drive to the store and buy ourselves a nice big bag of lime. So I'm just gonna make a quick stop here and admire what could potentially be our future field. It's very, very imposing. This is a huge field. So I'm still debating. Do I want to focus on the yard first, or do I want to buy this field? The sorghum right now is what's tempting me to buy this field. But I could look into maybe doing a contract on this field before buying it. That would also be a solution, because last time I did a sorghum contract, I ended up making a ton of money with the leftovers. I actually kind of like this idea, getting paid to do stuff before buying the field, but then again, I'd also probably make more money just selling the sorghum for myself. I shall ponder this. So hopefully 1 bag will be enough, because it's a pretty narrow field. I don't need to spread wide. So we're gonna start with just the 1 bag. That's fine. Let's load up the spreader. Back it up. And we're gonna load this up. For whatever reason, I have a feeling that my worker might need a little assistance, because I don't want him driving into trees and just wasting away my precious money. So let's just switch. Well, he seems to be doing it. No, so I stand corrected. I will never understand this. Just look at this. Why? Please do explain to me. Why? Why did you not do this entire patch? Anywho, I must not forget to do this myself, or else I'm gonna be missing a bunch of soybean in my field. Is gonna be a big old dirt patch. Anywho, let's hop back into our M7. Sometimes I find it really weird how the AI just completely ignores some small patches here and there. I'm not exactly 100% sure on why they do that exactly. It's funky, but at least I caught it, so I'll be able to fix the mistake my worker made. Maybe I should hire better workers, who knows? That's something that would be a neat feature though. I remember in old tycoon games you could hire workers, and depending on their work experience they'd do a better job. That would be a neat feature for future farm sims. Having different ranks for your workers. You have workers that are specialized in combine harvesters or cultivation work or whatever. That would be really cool, I think. It could be, if done right, of course. We don't want to make things too complicated either. So, let's lime this field. This is going to be very, very fast because it's very, very narrow. So let's set the working width to, I believe, 21 meters for this patch here, and once we get to the larger area we'll switch to 30 meters. Now let's try not to lime our chickens too much, because I don't think they like that. Well, that's fun. It didn't even take a full bag, but I have no point in keeping this around, not for the small expense it is. So let's just empty out whatever's left. 3, 2, 1, and ta-da! It's empty. Alright, so let's drive back home. We're gonna load the fertilizer back into the spreader. Now we have to mulch this field here, and I saw a notification saying that my worker had completed his task, but as we saw, he didn't do a very good job, so we're gonna have to do a bit of patchwork. Before doing our little rework in our field, let's load up the spreader here. There we go, that's 1. And that's 2. And that'll be 3. Alright, now let's back this right back into the shed. Drop this off here, nice and steady. Oh, I bumped into it. Oh well. Let's lower this. We're gonna put the weeder back in too, because I like to use this path between my house and the shed. It's convenient when I want to get to the corner. By having the weeder there, well, obviously I don't have to explain, it blocks the road. So let's just pop this off here. Now we'll leave the M7 here, but with the engine off for now. So let's hop into our Lambo. We're gonna turn the engine on. And let's go fix that tiny patch that our champion here missed for whatever reason that I don't quite understand. And there we go. Now let's just do ourselves a little favor here. We're gonna make sure that he didn't miss anything. I can see that there are no brown spots on field 15. That would be a nice indicator that he has planted soybean everywhere. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyways, let's go bring the seeder back to our farm. We're gonna hook up the cultivator to the Lambo tractor, and we're gonna be ready when it's time to cultivate field 30. So let's just drop this off here, and I'll hook up the cultivator right now. Now, something I didn't think about. I mean, I unhooked the fertilizer spreader and I put the weeder right in front of it, but that was not the most logical of options, because I have to spread fertilizer on my field. So let's hop into the M7 and we're gonna get that sorted out right away. Now, as usual, spreading fertilizer on a field is not a very long task, so I don't even need to speed up this part of the video here. Let's just get lined up and we're gonna do this in one nice go, because at maximum spread I should be able to cover the entire field in one drive, hopefully anyway. Worst case scenario, I'll just do a second pass, but I don't think that'll be necessary. Nah. Look at that nice 42 meter working width. Ah, fantastic, isn't it? Anyway, once this is done, we're gonna attach the mulcher like I had previously planned, before realizing I had to fertilize my field. And we're gonna go do field 30 if I'm not mistaken, pretty sure. Now, don't be alarmed, that weird rectangle that didn't get fertilized for silly reasons, it's actually fertilized. It's actually already got 2 layers of fertilizers on it, but it won't take any more because, well, there was no crops in that rectangle, so I'm basically double fertilizing dirt at this point. So I'll drop this off here. Now this time I won't put the weeder in front of it, because clearly I'm gonna have to fertilize my other fields as well. So let's grab the mulcher and let's go do field 30, and I would imagine that my other field will need mulching as well. It didn't require lime, but surely it will need to be mulched. There we are, our tiny field here. Let's unfold our mulcher and lower mulcher, roller, whatever you want to call it. It's called a roller, but it mulches. Anyway, let's just get lined up here. We're gonna do this headland because it's gonna make my job just that much easier. I'll be able to turn around no problem. So let's do this. Oh, see, I can't go all the way because I hit the wall and I missed a spot here. Okay, get your head in the game, come on. What you doing, man? So the other day I got a comment asking, what's the purpose of mulching? I answered that comment, but I might as well just put it out there. Mulching has, well, there's two ways of looking at it. I mean, there's the farming simulator way of looking at it, and the answer to that is really, really simple. Mulching is just part of the process of reaching that 100% yield bonus. Basically, if you mulch your fields, you get an extra 3%, and if you roll your field, you get an extra 2%. Without these two, you'll be capped at 95% for your yield bonus. And if that's not the case, well, that's been my experience anyway. And I've been playing FS for a long time. But I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily right, but that's what I've come to observe. And there's the real life answer, which is a lot more elaborate. But to put it simply, it's to maintain your soil, whether it be its moisture or the ingredients in it. It's the nutrients of your soil. You're going to work them in your soil. There's a bunch of reasons that you could be doing this in real life. And some farmers don't even have to do it depending on their soil type, what crop they put in. There's a lot of factors to consider. FS has made mulching a fairly simple project compared to what it would be in realistically speaking anyway. I think I've never tried playing farming with the soil type mod, or I don't even know what it's called because, well, I've never used it. I know there's a mod that makes like your soil, you have to take samples and all that stuff, so I don't know if mulching plays a bigger role if you play with that mod. Perhaps, maybe, it would make sense. I mean, depending on your soil, you evaluate it, you know it's got, like, it needs more moisture, it has to retain moisture, whatever reason. Who knows? Anyway, the point is, in FS, it's very simplistic, unlike in real life. That being said, I've completed my 2 fields. Now the next task will be to seed them, of course. So we're going to plant some... I think we're going to plant wheat in field 30, right behind the chickens. Wheat is a crop that takes a lot of time to grow, at least when you're playing without seasons. Because right now I'm playing without seasons. And every crop has different growth rate. It's kind of like a throwback to the FS 15 days before seasons came into play. And so sorghum takes 4 months, wheat takes 11 or 12. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think it's 11 months for wheat. But anywho, so let's get these 2 fields cultivated. I'm going to plant wheat because I'm going to have more than enough sorghum. I did make up my mind. I'm going to buy the field 95, I believe. I will buy it and I will harvest it, which will give me a ton of sorghum and way more than enough chicken feed for the upcoming years, probably. I'm assuming, because the chickens they consume a lot, but they don't consume that much. So anyway, let's get this done. We're almost done with the cultivation work for this field. Now I find that it went very well doing both fields. The Lambo made short work of this. Now, once we're done here, I will be putting wheat into field 30. And this field here, I'll be seeding something completely new. Something I haven't done yet. Well, not yet in this series anyway. I'm gonna be planting potatoes. Why? Because it's gonna be different than sugar beets, and I want to have a root crop in, especially if I end up buying little piggies. I'm gonna need root crops to feed them. I'm also gonna need corn or sunflowers, but I do believe corn has a higher yield, but a much lower price, so you're not planting corn to sell it. That would be non-profitable, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, actually I know that that's how it goes. The corn, higher yield, better for feeding, and the sunflowers, much lower yield, but terrifically higher price. Anyway, let's hook up the seeder here, and let's go do our wheat field. Here we are, little field 30. Let's unfold this machine and get to work. There we go. Just one little last strip left to do. What I'm going to do after this, I will drive to the dealership and I will buy some seeds, because this machine is getting pretty low on seeds and I'd rather not run out in the middle of a sowing. So let's fold this up and we're going to go buy ourselves some seeds. Alright, here we are at the dealership. Let's just park this here and go buy a big bag of seeds. This is fertilizer, and seeds. $800 for one bag. That's actually a pretty good price. Now my seeder has a maximum capacity of 15 or 1600 liters, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna buy one. It should be pretty close to 100% full. So let's back this up here and fill it up. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty close. Yeah, 85%. That will keep us going for quite a while. Now, while on my drive here, I was thinking over some stuff. The episode is already running long. I like to try to keep my episodes around half an hour of content, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bust that. So what I will do, I will buy this field, and hopefully by the next episode, so i.e. next month, it won't be withered, because that would be a terrible waste of money. So let's buy this. So $64,000. So let's complete the transaction. And there we go. We are now the proud owner of this big field. So that's one objective done. Yeah, we already have 1 out of 3 of our seasonal objectives completed. That's fantastic. I think this is a very nice way to cap off this episode. But of course, I'm going to go park my machinery and put everything in order. I won't be planting my potatoes today. I'll keep that for next month. I'm anticipating that next month we'll be harvesting field 95, 96, 97, 98. I'm pretty sure these 3 fields here will be ready by then. And then I'll plant my potatoes. Anyway, gotta bring this machine back to the farm. I'll drop off the seeder and I will check to see how much seed we have in the planter. That way, next episode, we won't have to go to the store to buy some if needed. So let's just drop this here. I will move. Well, actually, I think I can just look at it, highlight it. There we go. So it's got 200 liters of seeds. And I'm pretty sure that'll be way more than enough because the maximum capacity for my planter, oh, it's actually a lot more. I stand corrected. Okay, so I will go buy. Wait, well, that's fairly annoying. This machine doesn't plant potatoes. Okay. Yeah, so I won't fill it up. There's no point. I'm not gonna do that. But what's this? It's a header. Useless. Anyway, so if we look at our planters, this is the one we own here. $15,000. Yeah, I have to buy one from the potato tech section. And these are very expensive. Like, incredibly, way too expensive. I might just end up renting the potato planter, and then I can empty off the seed into my own planter when I'm done. Now, the reason I really want to do potatoes is because I know that they have a much higher yield than sugar beets. And seeing how we're gonna have pigs in this season eventually, maybe 1, 2, 3 episode, who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there, but I'm gonna need something to feed them with. So ideally, I will plant potatoes, and once I harvest my brand new field 95, I will plant corn in field 95. So the corn will go towards the pigs. So this field is actually pretty big. It should keep them going for a while. But then again, I know that the pigs eat a lot. We'll see. And field 28, I will be planting the potatoes. Again, to feed the pigs. Before I end this episode, I'm gonna make 2 more purchases. Since I have the money for it, well, at least I think I have the money for it. I'm not sure I have the money for the second one, but I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna buy this, expand my grass field, because I'm expecting that the silage will bring in a nice sum of money. So let's buy this, $22,000. It's reasonable, which leaves us with $78,000. Well, let's move this out of the way for now. I'm gonna park it in the garage. I won't be using it again. Well, I say that, but who knows? If I can make my second purchase, I will be using it again. Now, you may think this is a crazy purchase, and it probably is, but I'm gonna buy a wider mower. That way when I do the grass, because now I have 2 very small grass fields, I am aware, but ideally, I will buy even more, and this bigger mower will come in quite handy. So, let's paint this white, because it'll match with my Lambo. So $55,000. How much is a grass roller? Let's just have a look at that first. So I have 2 options for grass rollers. I have the Dalbo Maxi Roll 630 Green Line, which has a 6.3 meter working width, and it plants. So if ever, for whatever reason, periodic plowing or what have you, well, at least this will seed the field, it's $26,000. So if I buy the mower, yeah, no, I won't have enough. And this one here is $32,000. It's got a 12-meter working width, which seems like a bit of an overkill considering the size of the map. So I'd probably go with this one, but I can afford it if I buy the other mower. I think I will withhold on making any more purchases for now. I thought I was gonna buy a fancy new mower, but seeing the price tag, and I don't want to spend all my money on the same day I earned it. That would be nuts. So let's park this in the garage, nice and straight. There we go, like this. We'll turn off the engine. Let's hop into our M7. Now we're gonna need to fertilize the field at the start of our next episode, or I could just go do that real quick right now. Yeah, okay, that'll be the last task of the day. Let's go fertilize our wheat field. Now that the field is fertilized, we can go drop off the spreader, and we're gonna call it a day. What we're gonna do is we're gonna park the fertilizer spreader in the back of the shed as per usual, and we will be putting the weeder in front of it. Anyway, because at the start of the next episode, we're gonna have to remove the weeds from the fields that we seeded today. So it's not gonna be in the way, because we're gonna need it. Well, let's just drop this here, like so. And there we go. Let's park the M7 in the garage, and there we go. Let's turn off the engine. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed these episodes. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to let me know. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.